Good morning. Hi, Britta. I haven't seen you in a long time. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Stephanie. I see you. Just sharing this around. Let's see here. Good morning. Good morning. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Who else is on here? Happy Independence Day. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, our country's kind of messed up. Thankful for our leaders, or maybe I guess who we've put on as our leaders. I think we all have to take some responsibility with that, but I have to tell you, I am still so grateful to live in the United States of America. I am. I am. I am so grateful to all of those um, who fought for our country, who still fight for our country. Um, I'll tell you, it's a world that we live in right now, for sure. Crazy world that we live in. For me, what makes it a little bit easier, definitely having a little Jesus in my life. Let me tell you, or let me be clear, a lot of Jesus in my life. Yes, man. When things happen, and boy, don't they happen. If you're joining for the first time, you may be in one of my groups and you're seeing this or on my Onward with Molly page. Thank you for being here or stopping by. This is just a little Jesus time. Some people have a lot of stuff going on and they may drop a prayer request in the comments. And it's just a place for us all to get together. And sometimes it makes you feel like you're not alone. You're not alone. Just when you think you have it so bad, oof, yeah, it's crazy. Tiff says, good morning, happy Independence Day. I can't wait to hug you next week. I know, Tiff, we need to get together so we know what's happening. I'm going to see Tiffany. I can't believe it. She's trying to get her daughter, her beautiful daughter, talented volley playing daughter, set up for college. And so we're going to be able to spend some time with her. I am really excited about that. Mm. So, um, there are some things that have been going on. I know the last time that Joanne Potts had an aunt who had a broken leg and a hip, and we were praying for her. Um, Lacey, our friend Lacey, has been going through some tests and some health stuff and trying to figure out what's going on with her. So we have been keeping her in our prayers. Hi, Shauna. Good to see you. Um, there is, and just recently, um, there have been a lot of people who've been just, yes. Your microphone. It's not on? Oh, no. Is it on now? Try that. Is that better? Sorry, Lee's trying to help me here. Is this better, babe? Tell me if it's better. Yeah. Okay, it wasn't even over here near me. I forgot to do that. Oh man, you can tell I'm off today. Thanks, babe. There's a friend. Some of you know her. Some of you have been following her. Denise. And you don't need to know her last name. But Denise was just diagnosed with breast cancer, and we are keeping her daily in our prayers. She has just started this journey. She had her port put in. Um, Denise is one of those people that when you think the struggle that you're going through at this current time is bad, remember, some people have got bigger issues, bigger things going on. We get so caught up with being angry at people. We get so caught up with just the little crappy things in life that we decide we want to get upset about. And then all of a sudden you see someone that you know and you love have to deal with something, and immediately I am like, shut up, Molly. Your issues are not that bad. Stop it. I know you have issues, and it's good. And we're all trying to get through something out there. And this is why I don't understand. Hi, Gwenda. How are you? I don't understand how people do life without God. I'm not here to judge you if you do. I just need him in my life, and I don't just mean when things are bad. I mean he is such a presence in my life every single day. Whether it's just talking to him or thanking him, or gosh, last week there were threats of thunderstorms all day while Lee and I were out there working, and for days, and I swear it just kept passing us. Oh, Lacey's on here. Mwah! Lacey, love you so much, girl. We are praying for you every stinking day. Every day, God hears your name. I need you to know that, Lacey. I don't know if people get that, but I am such a firm believer in just throwing people up to God, because I have no control. My prayers are not better than anybody else's prayers, but what I know is my Bible says that when one or two are gathered in his name, asking for things, that he hears us. Now, we may not always get the outcome that we want, because he's not a genie in the bottle, right? We all know that. I've been preaching on that for over a year now. But I do believe that when I pray whatever this is. One, may it pass from them. But two, if this is something that for whatever reason their body's chosen to go through, I need you all to know that I pray too. Help them as they get through whatever this is. Lacey's going through some things. I have gone through things in my life. Denise is now going through things. And there are many more of you. I mean, I think about people I don't know. Like Joanne Potts' aunt. I don't know her. But what I know is a broken leg and a hip together is not an easy thing, right? And even though they may have been able to fix that, now she's in the healing process. I say that I don't know how people do life without God, but yet I can take you back to a time when I was doing life without God. My goodness. Because I was angry, because I didn't like how life was, because maybe I was going through a divorce, maybe because my mom died, nothing because of what people were saying to me. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time that although I believe he was there, because when I think about stuff I've gone through in my life and that I've gotten through, I think there is nothing but my supernatural God who could have gotten me through things. And I'm not going to say that every part of the journey was easy, because it wasn't. And sometimes it wasn't easy because of me. Sometimes it wasn't easy because I did go opposite directions. But you know what? No matter what I did that was bad, no matter what I did to basically say, you know what, God, up yours, because I felt like I was saying that. You want me to be honest? I am here telling you that as much as I am embarrassed by it, I need you to know there was a time I was so angry with God that I don't know why he didn't take me off this earth. I don't know, y'all. Because I was basically like, out of here. Yeah, I know you're real, but right now I'm pissed at you and I don't want anything to do with you. And I wasted so much time. But he was so patient. I believe he could have said, fine, screw me, screw you. Oh, I am so thankful that I serve a God who, no matter how bad I've been to him, he always shows up for me. He's always there. And that's praise. That's a praise. Like, Lord, I know I'm this awful sinner And I know I don't get it right. And on a daily basis, I do not get it back. But thank you for loving me through it. Through it. I have a sign on my wall that somebody gifted me. And it says, all I need today is a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. That is never untrue. Some days I may not have the coffee, but let me tell you, every day it seems to be a whole lot of Jesus that I need. So if you're watching this and you're struggling with something, I hope you'll stay. I hope you'll stay. This is not a Jesus holy roller thing that I do every Tuesday morning. This is just according to when you catch it, according to when you were. One day you may listen to me and you'd be like, you know what, I don't even feel like listening to her. I don't want to hear her talk about Jesus. But then something could be going on in your life when nothing else is working for you. And you may show up at the right time and go, let me give her a minute. Let me give God a minute. And today may be one of those days, because today we're going to talk a little bit about rejection. Rejection is hard. Nobody likes the feeling. Hi, Donna. Hi, Rosemary. And Gwenda's here too. Hi, everybody. Nobody likes the feeling of rejection. I surely don't. And I have been there. Because when you let rejection get under your skin, somebody rejecting you, a job rejecting you, a parent rejecting you, a friend rejecting you, feeling betrayed, whatever that may be, rejection is hard, and we want to cover up and we want to act like it doesn't bother us. And inside we are reeling. Inside we're like, what's wrong with me? Inside we're getting angry. Inside we're like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Why would somebody treat me that way? And sometimes things are not as they seem. But the initial quote unquote rejection sometimes will have you take, like a soap opera, something to a whole nother level. That's the truth. So let's see. This is entitled Yesterday's Hurts in Today's Relationships. Hi, Eunice. How are you? Oh, and Amy. I can't believe it, man. We've got some people on here, 4th of July. I almost didn't do this because I thought everybody out grilling. I grilling later, but I'm not. Yeah. So thank you for being on here, and I hope this helps you in some way. Yesterday's hurts in today's relationships, because I believe, if I think back to when I went to school and high school and church, friendships you thought were friendships and they weren't. Those things, if you don't take those things and deal with those things, if you don't leave those things, if you don't bury those things, if you don't deal with the fact that sometimes those things had nothing to do with you and all about the people, Hi, Natalie. Good to see you. I believe that sometimes we sit and let things sit on us and we don't let it go. And then what happens? Hey, Karen. And then what happens is this. That is sitting there, and anything that happens in your future, that thing that you're hanging on to, that is going to affect what happens to you right now. And it doesn't have to be that way. Oh, Amy, hey, I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad I went ahead and did it then, Amy. So glad you're here. Thanks for being here. My goodness. Some people you don't see pop on all the time, and when you do, you're like, oh, there's my person. So yeah, I love this. The verse this is based on is James 1:19. It says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I know you may have heard this in different contexts by different speakers, maybe even pastors or preachers, or maybe in Sunday school, or maybe on a YouTube, or maybe somebody who you're following on Instagram, on a reel, whatever this is. But sometimes you hear this. But listen, everyone should be quick to listen. That means open your ears and really listen. Stop hearing what you want to hear. Stop hearing how you think it's said, slow to speak, don't lash out because of what you're hurt from, maybe from the past, something that's happened to you, and now you're bringing it into your present. See what I'm saying? And slow to become angry. Don't let the anger get you, because it will eat you up, it will tear you up, and it will spit you out. So I'm going to tell you a little story here. Let's listen to this together. This is a good one, y'all. We don't need you there. Have you ever heard something like that? Oh, we have enough. We have enough people. You know. We have enough people here. It's okay. We don't need you. A simple sentence, 5 words, 5 syllables. However, in my brain, the interpretation of this sentence was anything but simple. It unleashed a flood of uncertainty. My brain instantly fired off locator errors that traveled to past rejections in my memory, pulling past hurts into current conversations. Suddenly, I wasn't hearing, we don't need you there. I was hearing, you aren't needed. I don't want you. You aren't wanted. They said, we don't need you there. But you hear, because of something in your past, you aren't wanted. Rejection always wants to steal the best of who I am by reinforcing the worst of what's been said to me. Hear that again. Rejection always wants to steal the best of who I am, who I know myself to be. Right? By reinforcing the worst of what's been said to me, or maybe about me. The best of who I am was certainly not the one interpreting this comment. The most hurt version of me took what was said and added pages of commentary. This additional dialogue highlighted all my insecurities, brought to mind all the many reasons that I was sure of why I was being excluded. And it vilified the person who uttered those words that started this whole thing, right? Think about it. Suddenly, in my head, this person wasn't safe. She was insensitive. And worst of all, I pictured her rallying others to believe the worst about me as well. So if she thinks it, well, obviously, it's got to be that they believe the worst of me, and there has to be more than one. This can't be a misunderstanding. I blinked back tears. I swallowed the long-winded speech I was dying to spew in retaliation to her hurtful proclamation. It was here. I had it in my throat. I wanted to lash. I wanted to lash because of what I thought I was hearing, but with a simple, okay. I walked away. And it was all here, right? It was all here. Later that night, I retold the whole story to a member of my family with great emotion and lots of added commentary, because it's how I saw it. I gave them the play-by-play. Finally, I paused long enough to catch my breath and fully expected this person to jump right in with absolute support and offer to rush to my defense. You think you got your person who says they are your ride or die no matter what, and they are going to see this how you see this, right? Because they're your person. Instead, this is what the person said. What else might she have meant by her statement? Is there any chance that maybe she didn't intend to hurt you, but rather was just simply stating the fact that they had enough people participating and you didn't have to feel the pressure to attend? I shot back, oh no, I'm telling you that this was so much more than that. Right as I was about to unleash another dramatic retelling, of course, of the whole situation, which gets worse each time I tell it, they stopped me and said, just make sure you aren't holding her accountable for words she never said. She didn't say you weren't wanted. She didn't say you weren't capable. She didn't say others were thinking the same way as her. She simply said she didn't need you there. After stewing for a while, I dared to consider what my family member had said. First, I was quite upset with her because after all, she's my ride and die, right? She should be with me on all this. So I called the lady and I asked her a few questions. And in the end, I realized there was absolutely no agenda behind her statement at all. In fact, she thought she was doing me a favor by assuring me that I wasn't needed so that I wouldn't feel pressure to be gone from home during that very busy time in my life. Now, this situation happened 8 years ago, but man, I think about it often. It taught me 3 perspectives that now I don't ever want to forget. The first one, when I'm tired or stressed, I'm likely to interpret interactions way more emotionally than I should. When I'm tired or stressed, I'm likely to see an interaction, to interpret it way more emotionally than I should. Therefore, I should wait to respond to others until I have had a chance to rest and de-stress. A depleted woman can quickly become a defeated girl when she lets emotions dictate her reactions. Guys, I am so guilty of this still at times. Now, I am better. I have to admit, at 60 years old now, I am better. But hear me. Have you ever been the person who just simply reacts? And most of it is probably in the moment of it's just been the most horrific day and I've been at the doctor's or my kids have been off the hook and my husband and I have been arguing and business isn't exactly where it should be. And then here this comes, and instead of me acting like the grown woman that I need to be, I immediately go into the shell of that defeated girl who has witnessed so many things in my life that I felt rejected because I'm letting my emotions in that moment dictate the reaction. That's one of the reasons I love today's verse and the way it interprets me. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Write that verse down, y'all. James 1:19. Look it up and save it in your notes on your phone. Look it up on your phone. The internet is a great thing. Siri will look it up for you. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, you need to keep this so that when you feel yourself departing into this journey that you never should have gone down to start with, you're like, yeah, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to becoming angry or getting your tail up on your shoulders, for lack of a better word. Number 2, believe the best before assuming the worst. Believe the best before assuming the worst. Even if they didn't have my best interest in mind, they probably also didn't have the worst intentions in mind. Regardless, being positive will keep me in a much better place. And how about the last one? Clarify, clarify, clarify. When in doubt, I should ask them to help me understand what they truly meant. And when I clarify, I must recognize and resist adding any additional commentary my past hurts might add to this situation. Let's think about this, okay? When in doubt, I should ask them to help me understand what they truly meant. Oh, no, Molly, I can't do that. Molly, if I go ask them, then what's going to happen is, Molly, they going to know it bothered me. They going to know they hurt my feelings. They going to know I'm a little pissed off. They going to know, and I don't need nobody to know that because I don't need them in my life. If that's, stop it. Stop it. Are you kidding? Look, I grew up in this scenario, and believe me, many of us in my family still do this. You know how I know? Something will happen with my kids, and my kids will tell me something, right? And I'll say, how did you fix that? How did you go ask them? No, Mom, I didn't go ask them. Screw them. They may use other choice words, but no, Mom, I know what they meant, Mom. Well, how do you know? Did you really ask them? I mean, did you go to them? Come on now. Let's think about this. Slow to speak and slow to become angry. I know you angry. You telling me about it and you angry. Stop it. Clarify. Stop sweeping the mess under the carpet so that then when the next thing happens, the humps and the bumps and the lumps in the carpet are so big that you are tripping over them time and time again because you just didn't want to ask. You didn't want to know the truth. And even if the truth is they meant that way, well, deal with that then. Maybe we have to look at ourselves a little bit. I see this on social media so many times that somebody will ask a question, especially here in the Onward group. I'm putting this there too, or on my team group, not so much. They behave. But the Onward group, not so much. Or just watch it on somebody's page. That somebody will say something, and immediately, because they obviously can hear the tone in that person's voice, they obviously know exactly what they meant. They obviously had to have meant this derogatory, putting somebody down, whatever that looked like. They had to have meant that when they come to me in private message, and many of you, if you watch this on the replay or live or whatever that looks like for you, you're going to go, oh my goodness, this is I've done that with Molly, where you've come and like, what were they doing? I mean, why would they react that way? You know, Molly, that person's such a bee. Molly, I don't understand. What is wrong? And I'm like, have you gone to the person? Have you asked the person? Have you said, hey, I mean, you know, did you, this is how I took this. Did you mean it this way? Do you know that 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to go, oh, no. I was just simply like stating the facts as I knew them. People are not always rude in what they're saying. It's how you are taking it. And do you know why? It's because of your history with other people. History that you never got solved back then either. You never found out, is that what they meant? How was it? You never prayed about it. You never talked to God about it. You just let the stuff from your past dictate how your present and your future, may I add, is going to be. And when I clarify, I must recognize and resist any additional commentary my past hurt might add to the situation. Remember when I told you about telling the family member the story and that I just kept adding to it? Let me just add to that. But because in your head, you know what that person meant. In your head, you know how they were dictating things. You just know. You just know. You just know what they meant. You just know how they feel. You're God. You're omnipresent. All of that good stuff. All knowledge, all this, all being. No, you don't. And if you don't want to ask, then do you just enjoy being angry? Do you just enjoy being hurt? But most of the hurt is because of what you've already presented in your mind, that you've already set your line in and said, this is it. This is how it is. But you don't know. Because it never meant enough to you to go get the clarification. You'd rather be angry. You'd rather let it ruin your day. You'd rather make yourself feel defeated. You'd rather be that little girl again. Is that what you want? I mean, I'm just asking. Can you think of a time in your life when these perspectives might help? Really think. I bet you already have. I bet you've already thought like, oh gosh, that time, that person, ooh, if I had tried not to interpret something when I was way more emotional than I should have been that day, because there was so much going on. Or how about believe the best before assuming the worst? Or clarify. Oh man, if I had done that, maybe that relationship wouldn't be so tested right now. Or maybe you've been there and it finally did mean enough to you to go and ask and talk it out and explain. And you're so glad that you did, because now you know the truth. Not the truth you created in your mind because of past episodes in your life. I certainly haven't perfected making these perspectives the first thing I think of when I'm in an uncertain situation. But at least I do think of them. And you know what? That's great progress. So feelings from yesterday's hurts don't take away from today's relationship. We hold on to our hurts. We hold on to what we think we know because we have it all worked out in our head, right, y'all? I'm not just talking to you. I need you to know I am the queen of this at times. I am. I already have it worked out why this person's being this way, why they're acting that way. And the deal is, it may not have anything to do with that. It could be that it's me. I've had an overly emotional day. I am tired. I am stressed. Life is not easy these days. But maybe I should give people the benefit of the doubt and just take the information instead of thinking this is how it has to be, the absolute worst. And then if it really means enough to you, get your clarification. When you even start with one of these 3 steps, it's a step forward, y'all. You're not going to get it right all the time. But what I hope is that when you do have something like this happen, that this live, this YouTube, this replay will come back and you will think, oh man. I remember what Molly said about that. Am I feeling stressed? Yeah, Lee's right. Never forget that hurt people hurt people. Yeah. And sometimes our reactions to what somebody has said or done are hurtful reactions because let's go back. Because we didn't go back to that verse. We didn't go back to James 1:19. Dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Now, I'm going to tell you a real one here. Lee Bibb's on here, so he's going to be like, hallelujah, yeah, okay. Do you know what I'm the person who I am absolutely the worst of? When somebody starts talking, and particularly my husband, really bad about this with him. Work on it all the time, and I still fail. That Lee can start telling me something, and I automatically know exactly what Lee is going to say. I need you to know that I automatically, and I will just cut him off and start talking about exactly what I know he's going to say. And Lee shuts up. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he gets angry at me. That's the truth. And he will say, "You never let me finish. Why do you always assume? Remember again, assume. Why do you always assume, Molly, that you know what I'm going to say? Why do you always assume that you know where I'm going? I wasn't even going down there. I was on 5th Street. You had me on 10th Street by the time we got done." And why? Do you know I have realized from reading this, from being in the scripture, that a lot of what I do and how I react is absolutely due to my past. It's absolutely due to how things were handled, how I handled or didn't handle things in the past. So now I decide that I'm going to handle things by just running over him and people. Oh my goodness. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Miss Denise. We were just talking about you earlier, my friend. Lee will be the person who will tell you, yep, she does it. Sometimes he's patient with me. Sometimes not so much. Can I blame him? No, I can't blame him. I do. I get angry. I shut up. I'm like, fine. Okay, fine. You didn't. And then I find that a lot of the times I have to go back and go, I'm really sorry I did that again. I'm really sorry that I didn't just let you get your thought out. Because if I still had questions about the thought, do you know what? I could say, Lee, is this what you meant? But then see, I've let him get the thought out, and I haven't already just made up my mind how something is. Hey, Susan. Hey, Leslie. Yeah, Denise, we all there, girl. Look, you know, people think I get on here and I'm just trying to preach to them. What people don't realize is I'm not somebody who's just going to preach the whole Bible to you. I'm not going to be that person. Here's the truth. I can only come on here and go live about things that I know, the things that I have experienced, that things God not only has worked in me through, but is continuing to work in me. It's no different than my Avon business. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? It's no different than my Avon business. Look, we have what, 6,000 products maybe? I know you're like, what? And you're like, yeah, we do. 6,000 products. Can I be honest with you? There's a lot of those products you will never see me post about. You will never see me do a reel about. You will never see me talk about them with you guys on a live about. And do you know why? Because 1, I may not like the product. 2, I'm not an expert about the product. And 3, if I don't know about it, I'm not going to talk about it. So the deal here, what I want you to know is, when I'm bringing something Tuesdays, or whether I'm talking to y'all on Onward, hey Janice, no matter what it is, y'all need to know most of the stuff I'm bringing because I either had an issue, have an issue, scared that it could still be an issue, or it's going to be an issue. But what brings me to you above all of it is that I love you. And that I care. If you're a human being and you're watching this, no matter where you're watching it, I care about you, and I care about not just where you're going to spend eternity, which to me is top notch, where you're going to spend eternity. If you're the best person in the world, and most of you are probably a whole lot better than me, because if you really knew about all my life, you'd go, oh, girl, seriously, girl, you did what? You would be that person if I told you everything. And we may get around to it all one day. You can be the best person in the world, and so can your mom, and so can your dad. Listen to me. You being good is not going to get you through the gates of heaven. I'm sorry, it's not. You can, but Molly, I do good. Molly, I try to love people. Molly, I give. Molly, I show up and I go to church. Molly, I ain't killed nobody yet. Molly, I honor my mama and my daddy. Look, those are all commandments that the Bible gives us. That's it. But look, my deal is here. There's one way to get your tail through heaven's gates, and that is accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior and believing that God sent his son. He died on that cross for you to cover all those times you messed up and all those times you're going to continue to mess up, because you're still going to be human, y'all. You must accept him. You must accept what he did. You must ask him to come into your life. And then you think you're not going to mess up? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The only way to get to heaven is to accept Jesus into your life and to know that you are a dirty, rotten sinner, no matter how good you think you are. And sometimes I think I can be pretty good. I'm like, I help a lot of people. I help all them people in Avon. I try to do what I can. I try to help them in life. I try to be there for my family. I try to be there for everybody. God looks on that and he says, I'm so happy you are. But end of story is, you're still a sinner. This is what we are. You're only saved through the grace of God. That is it. So quit thinking that your good works are going to get you there, because I'm the one. You'll never be able to say you didn't know. You want to know what my goal is? You're never going to be able to say, nobody told me how to get to heaven. Nobody told me that it was through Jesus and acknowledge. Nobody told me that, because you're going to say, but there was that time that I didn't want to hear it. And I cut off Molly's. I scrolled. Do you know what got me through my cancer 2 years ago? Which, by the way, in July 18th, I've got to go back for a recheck again on my kidney. Do you know what got me through that? I was so scared. I was never more scared of anything in my life since my mom knowing she could die. The only thing that kept me going was, God, if you choose that this thing, whatever it is, takes me out of here, I know that my final destination is with Jesus, is with God, because I have accepted him into my heart, and I will tell everybody, you have got to want God in your life. Not, oh, I believe there's a God. So do the Buddhas. I'm not putting you down. Look, y'all believe in whoever you want to believe. This is what I know. While your gods have died, my God is still alive. You can't compete with that. I'm sorry. You can't compete with that. He makes it so easy. But yet he doesn't make you. You have to invite him into your heart, into your life. So that's what I want you to know. But in the midst of all that, we got to live life down here, right? Come on now. We got to live life down here. And we're trying to get through it the best way we can. And social media and all this crud does not make that easy. It doesn't. Some days I just want to shut it off, y'all. I just want to shut it off and go, I don't want anything to do with it. That's the truth. I don't want anything to do with social media. People say to me, oh, but Molly, you post all the time. I got news for you. Molly doesn't post all the time. Molly schedules posts a lot. And then Molly is off unless Molly sees she's got 1 million tags and somebody's showing their butt and onward. Something like that. So I hate the hurtful stuff. I hate the false news. I hate, how people in our government are corrupt. And I hate how people are always trashing one another because there's not enough love yet. But I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be part of the love. I'm going to be part of the love, and you can go make fun of me after this. Here goes Molly, the holy roller. Well, I'm not too holy, but I'm rolling for Jesus, okay? Jesus, take the whole card. Jesus, fix it. Yes, I am. And I am not going to be ashamed of that. But do you think that changes me? Let me tell you, number one, yes, it changes me because he has changed me. He has changed me, and he's the reason I can love you when you are being that person. He is the person who has changed me when I want to tell you off. When I want to be that person. When I want to revert and say, you know what? Get out of my group. Or how about, much as I try to do for you, you're going to get out. No, no, no. That's not what I'm called to do. I'm called to love Jesus, and I'm called to love people. And I'm going to love you through it. So you can go ahead. You can make fun of me. And I'm not going to be the person here who's going to tell you it doesn't hurt my feelings either. Do you know what always gets back to me? Everybody who wants to say something. Everybody has something to say about Molly Stone Bibb. Everybody's got something to say about what she does and what she says. And I'm like, thank you for keeping me relevant, and by speaking my initials or my name or that person, and they know, it's okay, because you know what, God is going to use that. Every bad thing I've ever gone through in my life that I share with you, with embarrassment, with utter dismay sometimes, I know, because of where I am now, that sharing those things like rejection, sharing that, and how it makes me feel, and how I can make the story even bigger than it is in my own mind, and then share it that way, right? I need you to know that that is being used. People say, Molly, don't you ever get tired? Every single day. Molly, do you ever get tired of people slamming you? Yeah, a lot of days. Molly, do you ever see yourself stopping what you're doing? Just giving up this whole thing of trying to help people and encourage people and share knowledge? Do you ever see it? No, guys, because God has shown me it's my calling. You think I don't have family who laughs at me? No, I'm not just talking about people in Avon who don't like me. You think there is not family who goes, oh my gosh, there she goes, or oh, she thinks she's bigger than she is? No, I am nothing. And some of you follow me for no other reason than the fact that you can relate to me. That because you didn't realize, oh, Molly Stone Bibb did that in her life? Oh, wow, I didn't even do that. Yeah, I get it. We are all sinners, but we can be saved by the grace of God. Man, guys, you don't know. And if you don't have that, man, you are missing something. You are missing something bigger, because do you know that the people that I do business with, that when our company sometimes feels like it's on the rocks, or people don't have it together, or whatever it is, people say, what keeps you solid, Molly, especially when your people aren't there? Do you not understand that what keeps me solid is I am exactly where God wants me? I am finally listening. I have stopped fighting it, which means I have to let go of your opinion of me, no matter who you are in my life. But I have to be open to learning. I have to be open to something that no matter, have you ever been that person that no matter how great something is, that you still feel empty? Do you realize have you ever felt like you're in a room full of people, but yet you're still lonely? There is no worse feeling than to know you're surrounded with all these people, but yet you still feel alone. You don't have to do that with God. Because when all else fails, He shows up. Sometimes through people, sometimes through His Word, sometimes through devotion, sometimes through a movie, sometimes through a podcast, sometimes in nature, sometimes through tears, sometimes through something, a good joke somebody's done. Can I tell you, everybody thinks He's just going to come down and speak to you like He did Moses in the burning bush. There are burning bushes all around us, y'all. Even in the midst of rejection, He is showing you that no matter what, He is still in control. But you're never going to know just what that means if you don't accept Him. If you don't accept the fact that He is the one and only God. Man, y'all. Yesterday I was having a day. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let you go have a good time for your 4th of July. Yesterday was a day for me Everything was hurting. My side was hurting. I had a sore throat. We were supposed to have our neighborhood devotion that we get together with some of our neighbors who have become our closest friends. And I knew I had work to do. I had packages that I was supposed to last week get together for my team. All I wanted to do was sit in my chair, and I was having that moment. And then Denise Hatcher came on. I was scrolling through Facebook, and Denise Hatcher came on with an update of her journey to lick this cancer's butt. And I have to tell you that I could see fear in her eyes. And then she started talking about God, and then a smile came across her face. And I said to myself, Self, Molly Stonebib, get your tail out of that chair that you got your big butt in and get down there, because God has given you the opportunity. You didn't have to show up to have a port put in, Molly. This is not something that today you have to worry about, but you can pray for her all day long, that God will see her through this, that God will heal her of this, and you can be part of the solution. And God has given you a team that you can bless. God has still given you a company that you can work with. God has given you followers. God has given you a husband who loves you amongst every time that you cut him off. I have got family who still checks in on me. I have got things in my life that should make me say, get up and quit having a pity party for yourself and move, sister, move. Denise, you're going through this journey, and I hate that you're going through it, but I'm here to tell you that in the midst of even the very start of this journey, you inspire me every time you get on and share your truth. Your truth about your journey. And Denise hasn't been the only one. I think about Marjorie. There are people who've been through it, and they're through it. I see what your journey is, you make me behave. God says, you think you got it bad? You think your body hurts today? Right? You think you got some other ailments? You think this, you think that? Molly, wake up. Wake up. There are people with bigger problems than yours, and although my problems may be important to me, there's always somebody out there that something else is going on to make you realize today is a good day for you, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. But what I know is no matter what it brings, I will never do it alone. Because if everybody walks away from me, the one person who will never walk away from me is my God, my Jesus, my Lord and Savior. He will always walk me through it. And sometimes even when I feel like I don't feel him there, he's there. I just can't cut through my own crap to get to him sometimes. So if you're feeling rejected, if you feel like maybe he's not listening, and so that you know, listening is not always you get your way, okay? Because if I had had my way, God would have just taken my cancer away, like boom, like got rid of it, and I would have never had surgery. That's not always what it's like. Sometimes what you're supposed to learn, or what God can use in a journey, means that he's going to use something that you walk through. But know this, it will be hard. It can be life-changing. You can say, ooh, I never want to go through that again. But one thing's for sure, he will make sure that he walks with you through it if you let him. So why don't you just let him? Just let him. Okay, I'm sure there might be some prayer requests that are dropped, or maybe some personally. Those that are out there in public, I have definitely talked to you guys about. Have a wonderful, safe 4th of July. Lee says, light him if you got him. He's such a fireworks fanatic. He really is. Oh my gosh. Don't feel alone. And as far as rejection, just remember, sometimes it's not what you make it at all. It's something completely different. But follow those three rules, and maybe it will make you going forward react, respond, and be able to live your life healthier and in a more pure form, because you are worthy to not feel rejected. You are. And never forget, they rejected Jesus. But you know what? He never thought about himself. He just got up on that cross and he died anyways. Imagine that. Imagine that. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon.